lungs are calling out your name, a ghost I can't outrun or tame. I traded passion for a cage, and now I'm burning in the flame. We grew like wild and tangled vines, two restless souls across the earth. I always thought that you were mine, by some dark destiny or birth. But I was frightened by the storm. I sought the safety of the light. I left you freezing, sought the warmth, and plunged my spirit into night. You looked at me with hollow eyes the day I gave my hand away, a quiet death, a cold goodbye that haunts me to this very day. The grand betrayal of my life was thinking I could love him too, but every cut is like a knife that only makes me bleed for you. I'm falling back into the dark, igniting every buried spark. Oh, the weather of a ruined soul. I've lost the pieces of control. You are my heaven, you're my hell, the only truth I know too well. I broke your heart to save my own. Now I am freezing on the throne. I'm falling back into the wild, a foolish, unforgiven child. Your memory is a violent wave, and it's the only thing I crave, I crave, I crave, I crave. They say you've turned to bitter stone. They say you're driven by revenge. You walk the desolate alone, a broken promise to avenge. But underneath the cruel facade, I know the boy who held me close. We played a dangerous charade, and now we're paying for the boast. I see your face in every room, I hear your whisper in the hall. My golden life is just a tomb, and you're the writing on the wall. Whatever souls are made of, we are one, a burning star, a dying sun. I cannot live without my life, I cannot live without my strife. Take me away, break down the door. I am forever, always yours. Oh, the weather of a ruined soul. I lost the pieces of control. You are my heaven, you're my hell, the only truth I know too well. street light bleeding through the curtain lace. Your coffee cup still warm in its place. You swore weren't there, a name that isn't mine, a midnight prayer. The screen lit up the dark, I couldn't breathe. Watched every careful lie you learned to weave, and I memorized the way you said my name. Now every syllable just tastes like blame. So I'm writing letters that I'll never send. Forgives the things I couldn't say. I'm not the girl who's waiting by the door. I won't be broken on your floor anymore. Street light fading, morning on my face. Your coffee's cold, I'm leaving without a trace. Found your letter after midnight, fully where my hands had cried. Every line was soft as thunder, every truth had learned to hide. Silence meant forever. I thought your pride was cold as rain. I built a wall around my heartbeat and called it shelter from the pain. But then the ink began to tremble like a window in the dark. You were not the one who wounded me. I had misread my own heart. Now every word I left unspoken comes back wearing your name. I was falling while I fought it. I was burning in the flame. So meet me where the night forgives us, where the street lights blur the lies. I broke my own heart, not believing what was written in your eyes. You loved me under all the distance. I loved you under all my fear. Now the truth is on my pillow, and I wish that you were here. They told me love should look like silver, a shining promise, easy bright. But yours arrived in quiet shadows and stayed beside me through the night. I danced with doubt, I smiled for strangers, let sweet false voices pull me in, while you stood honest in the doorway, paying for another sin. If betrayal has a velvet whisper, it sounded just like good advice. I believed the polished rumors and paid for them with lonely nights. So meet me where the night forgives us, where the street lights blur the lies. I broke my own heart, not believing what was written in your eyes. You loved me under all the distance. I loved you under all my fear. Now the truth is on my pillow, and I wish that you were here. If I could walk back through the ballroom, past the laughter, past the wine, I would find you in the corner and put my shaking hand in mine. Not for fortune, not for shelter, not for what the world approves, just the quiet, aching wonder of a heart that finally moves. I found your letter after midnight. Now the dawn feels almost kind. If you're still waiting in the silence, leave one light for me to find. A train platform humming, late and blue. I fell for someone I barely knew. We shared a single umbrella in the storm. Your laughter was the only thing that's warm. We traded names like secrets, soft and slow. Two strangers learning where the heart could go. But morning came and stole the words we found. You boarded and the silence was the sound. We were two strangers baby, and a voice too thin to keep. A promise that dissolved into the deep. But morning came and stole the words we found. You poured it and the silence was the sound. We were two strangers, one goodbye, a love that lived between a hello and the sky. I felt the whole world turning in your eyes, then watched it disappear behind the lines. Two strangers, one goodbye. And maybe somewhere distant you recall the minute that we had the way we'd fall. I won't regret the falling, though it's brief. A flash of love is still a kind of belief. A train platform empty, washed in blue. I keep 1 minute and I let go of you. Ring I've been on the kitchen floor. The vows we burned don't echo anymore. You swore beneath the candlelight to stay, then learned to look at me and turn away. I found the truth folded inside your coat, a stranger's perfume clinging to your throat. And every promise crumbled into gray. The fire that we built just burned away. Now I'm sweeping up the ashes of a promise. Everything we swore is turned so honest. You were my forever, now you're smoke. I'm breathing in the vows that finally broke. Ashes of a promise, cold and honest. I gave you all my mornings and my trust. You gave me empty rings and gathered dust. The album of our wedding, page by page, a beautiful and slowly fading cage. And every promise crumbled into gray. The fire that we built just burned away. Now I'm sweeping up the ashes of a promise. Everything we swore has turned so honest. ring left spinning, slowing on the floor. I sweep the ashes out and close the door. Is a mouthful of thunder, and my heart is the thing it chews. I stare through a rainstorm window and see what I used to lose. You were wild as a match in the wind, laughing at fences there in the dark. I was the outsider nobody named, a shadow hungry for a spark. We carved our vows in stormlit air, swore the world could never bend. But vows are fragile in polite rooms, and love can break on should and when. They dressed you up in safer choices, taught your mouth to swallow no, and I watched you marry another life, while my blood turned black and slow. Betrayal doesn't always shout, sometimes it whispers then it stays. On these wild hills I call your name, and it echoes through my rage. Love curdled into something cruel, bruised that learned to speak. I press my palm against the glass, and the ghost of you looks back at me. I left with hunger as my hymn came back with gold like armor-plated. Wealth is just a code of fire for every dream you confiscated. I smiled with teeth that didn't feel, made promises that tasted like rust. Revenge is a throne made out of splinters. It holds you up, then breaks your trust. But late at night the storm goes quiet, and I hear the truth I hate. I didn't want to punish you, I wanted you to choose me late. If I stand at your window trembling, it's not to win, it's not to wound, it's to ask the sky to rewrite us before the earth fills in the ground. The hills keep rolling, indifferent, and I keep failing to be free. Some loves don't die, they just become the weather living inside me. Laugh in the crowd, a flash of light. You never knew it was me. I wore a foolish face on purpose, so the brave part could stay unseen. By day I'm clumsy, all missteps, a harmless joke in a borrowed coat. By night I'm coded glances, quick hands, a whispered plan, a cutthroat oath. I pull the condemned from closing doors, I trade my breath for someone's chance, then come home stained with secret hours and ask can't speak without endangering the fragile lives I'm sworn to try. I'm loving you behind a mask, and it's tearing us in two. Your eyes accuse what they can't name. My truth can't break through. Every kiss becomes a question, every touch a courtroom scene. I'm saving strangers in the dark, but losing you in between. You watch the world for signs of treason. I watch the street from men with steel. You wanna love the simple daylight. I'm stuck in shadows, sworn to deal. I couldn't open beneath the plate, a ribbon tied the wrong way around. You think I'm leaving signs for another, but I'm leaving warnings all around. If I could lay my life down plainly, I swear I would. But love and danger share one doorway, and I'm the hinge of where they stood. So meet my eyes, not my disguises. Hold the faith you're scared to keep. I'm not two lovers, not two liars, just one heart learning how to bleed. One day the mask will meet the fire, and I'll stand unhidden true. If you can forgive the secrecy, you'll find I only chose you. Crystal clings like tiny verdicts, and every smile is rehearsed. In glittering rooms I'm well behaved, but desire's never terse. Where candles crown the table, where gossip blooms like perfume thick. My vows are pearls around my throat, beautiful, tight, and hard to pick. And you arrive like a sudden tide in traveling coats and foreign rain. Your voice turns maps into invitations, and my composure into strain. Watch stars follow every movement, counting breaths, counting blame. I hold my glass like it's an anchor, trying not to say your name. I'm falling in love at the worst possible time, in the brightest, loneliest place. Betrayal isn't in my hands, it's in the heat on my face. Duty stands tall like a cold chandelier, reputation hums like a wire. And you look at me like you already know how quickly vows catch fire. On trains, on roads, in borrowed cities, I practice knowing till it shakes. Your letters wait inside my suitcase, I stole my choose my choice, a quiet knife. I choose the sword over ruin. I choose the long, unpaid for ache, the life where we remain unproven. If I loved you out loud, I'd burn it all, not just my name, but yours as well. So I'll carry you like contraband and let the world keep thinking I'm well. At dinner, I lift my practice smile and swallow what I cannot say. I fall in love in glittering rooms, then walk away, then walk away. A quiet room, a sudden spark, a hidden fire in the dark. I thought I found my resting place until the shadows showed their face. I came to you with nothing much, a quiet voice, a gentle touch. You saw the spirit in my eyes, you saw through everything disguised. We walked the gardens in the sun. I thought the lonely days were done. You asked to make me yours for good. I didn't know the ground I stood, the secrets locked behind the door, waiting there to settle scores. The veil was torn, the truth revealed, a rusted lock of fate unsealed. The grand betrayal at the shrine, the moment that you were mine. I ran away into the cold, a broken story left untold. Settle on the floor, and we are stronger than before. clear.